Just skirts by Josh Cohen. We have Monarchs SLC and Josh Cohen. Blake takes it to the right and just slips it past Cohen's fingers for the game's first goal of the USL and Josh Cohen. Blake takes it to the right and just slips it past Cohen's fingers for the game's first goal of the 30th minute.
Tries to pivot. Cohen.
Soccer fans, again, welcome in and enjoy this beautiful afternoon here in Harriman, Utah. David Horst, Landon Southwick on the call of tonight's game. Dave, this should be an exciting one. Both teams still trying to taste the sweet nectar of victory.
Yeah, but you're going to see two teams here with two contrasting styles. You're going to see one team that very obviously worked on their offensive preseason, and then you have the Monarchs, which very obviously worked on their defensive formation in preseason. So it's going to be a fun matchup, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Both teams come in, like we mentioned, with different records. El Paso lost in their first match ever at home, 3-1 loss to OKC. The Monarchs coming off a 1-1 tie in Sacramento. We'll toss it to a quick break and come back with lineups shortly. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker. I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Welcome into the beautiful Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman City. Brody inside the team. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody!
Blake takes a shot and he hammered it home.
Let's check out the visiting lineup for El Paso Locomotive FC. David, take it away.
So what I said in pregame was that they're a very offensive team, so you're really going to have to watch out with that front four between Derek Gebhardt, Sebastian Contreras, James Kiffey, and Omar Salgado. Omar Salgado was the #1 pick in the MLS draft a few years back, and he's played at the highest levels. Now over to the Monarchs. Now, this is the team that I said defensively, but this is the week we're at home. We have to focus on the offense. So I'd love to see what Tate Schmidt can do today, and Douglas Martinez and Michael Chang. That front three has to be extremely dangerous for us, especially at home here.
Both sides on the pitch ready to rock and roll. It's like we mentioned, a beautiful afternoon here in Harriman, Utah. Monarchs in their all whites, head to toe. Locomotive FC in their blues, navy blues with the top, light blue on the top. Both sides have very capable goal scorers, David. We've talked about this. The Monarchs is less proven in that sense. Omar Salgado is a guy that has done very well in his career. Struggled with injury the last few years, but is very capable of finding the back of the net as we are underway here at Zions Bank Stadium.
I know Omar Salgado is one of those guys that, he's played a couple years for the Vancouver Whitecaps. He played in, the first division of Mexico for a while, so he's got experience at the top level. So he's more than capable of creating a spark for El Paso today.
It'll be a throw in off the head of Noah Powder. El Paso is going to try to go forward. Knocked out in Rebellion. Former Swope Park Ranger. We'll take the throw in, put it inside the box. Salgado using his big frame. Dispossessed.
And that's the one thing that, the Monarchs are really going to have to be aware of is Omar Salgado is a big guy. He's probably bigger than every single one of the players, every one of our defenders out there. So the Monarchs have to be really careful of, staying behind him, not trying to win every ball, because he is a big body that can move guys around. He can create space for other players to run into. So the Monarchs just really have to be aware of that.
Miscommunication there from the Monarchs, and they'll concede their first corner of the match as Ochoa and Ryden were not on the same page.
One thing going back to last week that I would really love to see the Monarchs focus on this week is as we get later in this game, can they keep that focus defensively? If you go back to the last couple of games of last season, the Monarchs gave up a couple really late goals that hurt them late in the season. Once again, last week gave up a late tying goal, so this week, can they keep that focus the whole game?
Yuma calling for someone to come short. He'll play it inside the box. Nice ball. Salgado was there, but with his back towards goal, Monarchs are going to try to counter. Noah Powder out running. He tries to get around Ryan. He'll take a deflection. It'll be a Monarchs throw in just across the half.
I love seeing that off of, that El Paso corner kick with Monarchs winning that ball and immediately pushing forward. They're not pulling it back. They're not trying to, keep possession. They are counterattacking quickly and directly.
Holt making his second start for the Monarchs this season. Ball out wide, just at midfield stripe. Yuma, ball sprayed out wide for Kiffey, and he's unable to keep it in. James Kiffey, one of the mainstays here in the USL, a very capable service provider. Powder, back to Ochoa. Ryden. Monarchs content to play possession. Out wide, little back heel there from Palma, trying to find Martinez, who's yet to get a touch on the ball. Jack Blake wearing the captain's armband for the Monarchs tonight. In his second season, came over from Tampa Bay Rowdies this last season on loan. The Monarchs purchased that loan, and now he's a consistent player for the Monarchs. David, we've talked about this Monarch side is a lot younger than it's been in years past. A few guys up at 27, but a lot of young guys, either from the academy or coming through the college ranks. Rebellion. He settles. Schmidt. Ryan. Contreras going to get his first touches on the ball. Provided the assists last game to the goal of Gebhardt.
You know, Contreras is one of those guys that the Monarchs are going to have to keep an eye on. He created, what, 4 or 5 chances in their first game of the season this year. So he's the guy, you know, that's going to make things run for El Paso in there. So the Monarchs have to keep an eye on him at all times.
Gotta love the possession so far from El Paso. Moving the ball around, swinging it, and consistently finding their spot so far in this game. And that's one of the things a lot of teams have trouble with. Tate looks for the foul
even
call.
though El Paso's a new team, they are not inexperienced. They have, I think, almost every single one of these guys has been playing for a few years in a lower league somewhere around the world. You know, they have a few guys from Spain, they have a few guys from England, a few guys that have played in NASL or the USL the last few years. So they're not a completely inexperienced team. They have plenty of that, so they know how to what they need to do here on the road.
Ball looking forward, trying to find the gap in center backs of the Monarchs. El Paso will switch. Kiffy out wide, defended by Brody towards the touchline. Looks like he'll win the second corner of the match.
Absolutely love that defending from Andrew Brody. You know, the guy, he had that yard of him to the end line, and Brody made up that space and got a good block. Despite the ball going out for the corner, you'd rather have the corner than across from just the edge of the 18-yard box there.
Second corner of the match coming here for El Paso.
And I believe this is where the Monarchs are going to miss Stanley Okumu, is on you know, set plays like this where they miss that height, you know, with somebody that his size to get on the end of those balls.
Salgado goes down, still down the side of the box, holding his side. He sprayed out wide, and Ryan has possession. Monarchs chasing a lot of the ball so far. As Ketterer is going to get his first touch of the match.
All right, can the Monarchs get control here? Can they pull the ball back, keep possession for a little bit, and get control of this game?
El Paso held a 68% possession rate last game against the OKC Energy. So it shows they're a team that wants to possess, they want to build out of the back, and that's really Mark Lowry's style. He wants this team to be capable of building from the keeper all the way forward, and you've seen that so far, and maintain possession, which they've done very well in this first 7 minutes.
Yeah, the hot thing to do around the world right now is to keep possession. Everybody wants to play like Barcelona, but possession doesn't always equate wins. Goals equate wins. So can El Paso this week turn that possession into chances, which will lead to goals then for them?
Contreras going to play a ball up over top. Salgado, Rydens with him. Salgado, shot just wide. A nice crack there and an opportunity for El Paso.
Great run by Omar Salgado into that space behind Andrew Brody. And you saw that experience right there. He didn't need to take the ball down and get touches towards the goal. He saw that David Ochoa was just a little far off his line, picked his head up, and tried to play the ball to the back corner over top of Ochoa's head, and he barely missed there.
Tate, excuse me, Holt. Bad giveaway there and an unlucky deflection there for El Paso.
Monarchs are very lucky right there. Obviously, we want to be a possession-based team as well, but within 20 yards of your goal, you should not be giving away passes like that.
Avila with the bad giveaway there, almost producing an opportunity for El Paso. Tate Schmidt making his professional debut here.
Yeah, Tate's one of those guys. You know, I saw him throughout the year or throughout preseason with the first team, and he's one of those guys I'm really excited to see how he does today. And you know, he's got all the tools in the world to be successful. Now, can he utilize those things and make it happen for the Monarchs?
Also making his Monarch debut today is Noah Powder here on the left side. His whole left side making debuts for the Monarchs.
Yeah, like we talked about in the pregame, you know, there's a lot of new faces out here. We're young. But the thing with Noah Powder is he's 20 years old, but he's got almost 50 games experience in the USL Championship already, which you don't see a lot of 20-year-old pros that have that much experience.
Monarchs had 7 players make debuts last week, 2 today. So you really do talk about the changing of the guard, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. New coach Martin Vasquez down on the sidelines tonight, making his home debut here for the Monarchs. This has been his home for quite a while, though, here at Zions Bank Real Academy.
I'm really excited to see how Martin can connect with some of these guys. He's been extremely successful at all levels in developing players and connecting with them to push them to the next level. Now, can he take these guys that are kind of at that in-between level between, you know, a development academy and a first team, and now can he develop those guys and have them promoted to the first team?
Kalen Ryden whistled for the foul. It'll be a free kick for El Paso. They'll have to go backwards. Still trying to play it into the feet of Salgado. Salgado does a good job to post up against Ryden.
And that I talked about at the beginning of the game. I talked about Salgado's size. He's going to be that guy that posts up on the center backs. And Kalen Ryden got very lucky there that Salgado did not turn him. He was lucky that Avila was there to be able to back press and take the ball from him.
Rebellion out wide, looking into Salgado. Ball up over his head. It'll be collected by Ochoa. Monarchs still trying to find themselves in this game so far. There's going to be a foul, and I would not be surprised if a yellow card comes out of his pocket on that one. Deliberate foul by Luis Palma.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Landon. I think it's a little early for that yellow card. Granted, yes, it was a deliberate foul, but it's only 10 minutes into the game. The ref, he's done a good job keeping control so far, but there's no reason to start bringing out the cards, I believe, so early.
And I would agree with you. I would prefer a ref to keep the card in his pockets, but that is definitely, you know, an attack killer right there. And that foul was very well done if you're looking at it from the Monarch side, from Luis Palma to slow up the attack.
Yes.
And provide his team an opportunity to at least get set. But another free kick opportunity for El Paso coming.
Can the Monarchs keep an eye on Salgado here? He is the tallest guy on the field, so he's probably the guy that El Paso will be aiming for here.
Holt's going to match up with him. Ball played in towards the top of the 18. Dealt with well by the Monarchs. Martinez tries to go forward, but it'll be out of play, and another throw-in for El Paso, who has maintained a lion's share of the possession so far to start this one here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs, though, 13-2-2 here at Zions Bank Stadium, so it's really been a fortress for them here, and a lot of teams have struggled to really find the back of the net here.
This has been a fortress for the Monarchs in the past, but you have to get off on the right foot here. You cannot have a slow start to the season at home because it's one of those things that carries over from game to game. So the Monarchs have to come out strong in this game and prove to the rest of the league that this place is a fortress.
Monarchs trying to go forward. Chang. Martinez is going to be pulled down by Intoko. Monarchs will restart quickly. Ryden, he'll pick up his head going forward. He's got Powder on the touchline. Powder tries to swing it in. He'll go in for a throw-in just down by the corner flag. Powder puts it in, able to keep it in just in front of the corner flag. He'll play it across. And it'll be scooped up by Ketterer. And he'll take the reset. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportsamerica.com. Monarchs finding themselves here in the last few minutes, able to start finding some possession.
They have to gain that confidence in themselves to begin with. You just don't come out and keep the ball automatically. You have to connect 3 passes, 4 passes, 5 passes, and kind of gain that confidence in yourself so that you can keep doing that.
Palma to Powder. El Paso doing a nice job of keeping their lines. Their lines look very clean up here from in the booth.
They are, if you look from back to front right now, they are extremely compact, which is what you want when you're defending as a unit, because you got to compact that space and make it hard for the Monarchs to penetrate it. Right now, the Monarchs are only able to go around the outside of El Paso, which is what El Paso wants. They want to be tight in that middle.
Brody to Chang. Chang picks up his head, tries to swing it in the box, looking for Martinez, headed away by Jerome. But better so far from the Monarchs. Ricardo. Avila. Trying to find Martinez. Martinez, in turn, trying to find Blake. It'll be cut off by El Paso. Yuma. But played out wide to Rebellion. He's going to go at Schmidt.
And that's an absolute fine foul right there from Tate Schmidt. He knew he was beat. He didn't have to have a hard foul, but it was a professional foul. You don't see that a lot from young guys, so I love seeing that from Tate Schmidt.
And in the midfield, in their own half, it's fine giving up fouls. It's not going to turn into a set piece opportunity. It'll just be a quick restart. Ketter finds Jerome.
Now, when we talked about how compact El Paso was, I would love to see the exact same thing from the Monarchs. Now, I know the Monarchs want to press, but you still have to keep that compactness from side to side and back to front. And right now, I think when El Paso's building out the back, you're seeing the Monarchs are getting themselves a little stretched, and there's not enough communication between all the lines.
Monarchs stretched thin right here. Ball inside the box. Salgado had an opportunity, but a nice defensive work rate by Powder to get back in front of him and make sure that didn't turn into a better opportunity.
Right there is where we've been under pressure, and that was the inexperience of David Ochoa showing. When he takes a quick goal kick to his striker, when it's 1-on-3, he's not gonna have a good chance to win that ball. I'd love to see Ochoa slow things down a little bit so that the Monarchs can keep the ball.
Ball inside the box. Palma running forward. It'll be collected by Ketterer. A few players on the back line of El Paso looking for the offside call. Nothing going there. Good win there from Martinez, but gives it away. And El Paso will reset. Good job by Tate there to get under that one, track it back, and he knew nothing about Rebellion coming from the backside here in the 17th minute of play.
Now, can the Monarchs make the most of this chance? This is an excellent opportunity for them to get a free kick into the box. Now, I'd love to see Luis Palma here play that ball between where the defensive line is sitting and the goalkeeper, and now you have to make the goalie make a decision. Am I going to come? Am I going to stay? And that's when problems happen. So can the Monarchs get on the end of this ball if Luis Palma plays a good one in there?
Palma's going to swing it in with his right foot. Defensive line for El Paso on top of the 18. Look for Holtz, very back of the group.
Ryden had an excellent showing in the box last year with a few goals.
Palma puts it in, floats it in.
And that is
right
the ball.
That
is the ball I talked about. Did you see how that ball landed between the goalie and the defensive line? Now, can the Monarchs get somebody on the end of that ball next time? That was an excellent ball from Luis Palma.
No one home, but a good ball, like David said. And someone who found himself on those corners oftentimes. David Horst, 11-year MLS veteran, joining us in the booth tonight. And forgive him if he seems maybe a little off. No, I'm just kidding. He just had a newborn daughter. Congratulations to him and Sarah as they welcomed Harper into the world here last Sunday.
Thank you, Landon. I appreciate it. I want to apologize to everybody out there listening right now. If I do get a few names wrong, it has been a long week of no sleep as a first-time dad, and I'm still getting used to that.
The experience will come, is probably what everybody's thinking. Ryden. Smart move there. Gives it away to Holtz. Holtz going to find Palma. Just across the midfield stripe. Looking forward to Martinez. The Monarchs have really settled in here in the last few.
There's excellent combination play in the middle there. But Luis Palma on that last pass, he has to play that in front of Andrew Brody because it went backwards, which completely killed the momentum that the Monarchs had going forward there.
Good ball there by Chang. Finds Schmidt. Schmidt gives it away. He's looking to get it back to Palma. Monarchs applying a lot of pressure. Chang. Have a player down. Derek Gebhardt. He's up, though. Takes a little bounce there on Brody. Avila, World Cup veteran in 2018 with Panama. He finds Palma. Palma trying to find it forward. to Schmidt.
Those are the balls that we need to see from Avila. He needs to be able to break the lines because he has to connect the back four to the forwards. The only way you do that is by breaking lines with your passes.
Reset coming for Jerome, the Haitian international. 62 appearances for the Haitian national team and 200 total pro appearances throughout his career. Very savvy veteran in the back for Locomotive FC. Ball up forward, Salgado. He gets there first. Ryden's gonna battle with him. Salgado has some speed, very capable. He'll turn.
Right there is where Kalen, you know, Salgado's bigger than you. Just push him towards the sideline. You don't need to win the ball. You don't need to let him cut inside on that. Just push him to the sideline. Use the sideline as another defender.
Good sliding challenge there by Jack Blake, but the Monarchs will concede their third corner of the match.
That is one thing you see with a lot of young center backs is that they want to win every single ball that's played into the corner. You don't have to win every ball, Landon. All you have to do is you get there, you keep the forward facing the sideline so they then can't do anything with that ball.
Corner kick coming here from this left side. Contreras out there short. Conversation inside the box. Gebhard and Avila. Ball's going to be swung in. Looking for Salgado, and he rises high but puts it up and over the bar.
You know, I think Eric Holt did an excellent job defending there. I mean, Salgado's got 3 or 4 inches on Holt. So when you got somebody bigger than you that you're going up against, all you have to do is make it hard on them.
Fans follow the Real Monarchs and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home of the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Palma's going to go down, and a foul will be called. Palma down on the pitch. Not sure if it's his hand. He's shaking his hand. It looks like it's his knee.
It was a hard tackle, and I believe it was either his right ankle or his right knee. Kind of bent a little funny underneath that tackle.
You don't like to see those as conversation down on the pitch, but that's part of it.
As you can tell here, it's a hard tackle, and right there, that right leg, that right ankle gets bent underneath him.
Looked pretty 50-50 from that angle, though. I think he was stayed down, and it rightfully...
I believe it was the aftermath of the tackle is what the ref was calling. To me, it looked like it was a 50-50, and it looked like it was a fair tackle. But, you know, one of those things, I've sat in on those referee meetings every preseason. One of the things that refs are supposed to look for now is how hard a tackle is. Now, you can say that that's a little ridiculous, that we have to judge how hard a tackle is, but that is one thing that referees have to look for.
Pretty even ball there, but still down on the pitch is Palma. A few players warming up for the Monarchs. Have to give a shout out to the 8th Notch, the supporter group in El Paso. Have a watch party at Palmino Tavern. I'd like to welcome them into the broadcast. Hope you guys are enjoying your first away matchup here in the USL Championship.
You know, I love seeing that. You know, the El Paso is a first-year team, and you already have a supporters group. You have watch parties. You have things like that. I love seeing that stuff from El Paso. Just from the community itself, they're really accepting this team already.
Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL Championships players in USLChampionship.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Palma's still down on the pitch, getting attended to, and it looks like there's going to be a substitution being made for the Monarchs. You're going to see Masta Cashier will enter this match here in the 24th minute of play. And an early substitution for the Monarchs.
And I'm going to guess with Cashier coming on that we're going to see some players moving around in that midfield. I'm going to guess you're going to see Tate Schmidt tuck into the inside. And Cashier will step to the outside is what I'm going to guess it will be. But we will see here in a few seconds.
That's something you like to see, not able to put pressure on those feet, and he'll go straight to the locker room where he'll get some attention.
You know, I never want to see players carried off this field. It kind of brings back bad memories for me from last year.
Not a pretty sight.
No, it is not. So we wish Luis Palma well, and hopefully it is nothing too serious.
Monarchs will make a substitution here as Master Cashier will make his second appearance of the 2019 season. Came on for a few minutes last week in Sacramento.
And it looks like Cashier will step out to that left wing, and Tate Schmidt will step into the midfield.
Avila out wide. Chang, nice little move there. Inside to Schmidt. Back to Chang. Ball still just pinging around. Schmidt trying to get on the end of it, and it'll be cleared. Monarchs are going to maintain possession, though. Out wide to Martinez. It'll be knocked out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs.
As a lefty, that's what you want to see from Chang. He plays as an inverted winger, so he's left-footed, which means he wants to come inside. So we're going to need to see more instances where he makes runs like that. You know, we saw that a lot last year from him connecting with Sebastian Velasquez and Chandler Huffman.
Blake will go down under a challenge, and it'll be a Monarchs free kick. Yuma making sure that his presence was felt, trying to get Blake to move it back up. But Monarchs going to have a nice free kick from a pretty spots on this pitch and an opportunity to go with a shot on goal.
Once again, this is a great position for the Monarchs and a great opportunity. Can they make the most of it? Last time, Luis Palma played a great ball into the box. Now, whoever will be taking it this time, can they replicate the same thing? But from this distance, I would love to see the Monarchs get a shot on goal. You're about 20, 22 yards out. You have to get a shot on goal. And we all know that Jack Blake has an absolute cannon for a right leg. So can he get this ball up and down over that wall?
Jack Blake and Chang. Chang with the shot off the woodwork. Chang denied by the woodwork.
You know, Lena, when I said on goal, I didn't literally mean on the goal. I wanted to see it in back of the goal a little bit, but great ball from Michael Chang, and Monarchs need to get on the end of it. Now, can El Paso, can they get their defense under control again and be tough to break down? The Monarchs have had control here over the last 10 minutes or so. So can El Paso get control of this game again, get tight, be hard to break down, just like they were for the first 20 minutes or so?
Powder out wide into Schmidt. Schmidt finds space, turns it back to Blake. Monarchs are really starting to apply the pressure. Those first 11 or so minutes were really controlled by El Paso. Last few, the Monarchs have been just pushing. Tate inside the box. Flag is up, though, on the far side. And it looked like the Monarchs might have another opportunity, but the flag was up.
This is El Paso. They're under pressure. They need to slow things down, get control of that ball again, regroup, and play the way they want to play.
Be a reset for Ketterer. Logan Ketterer, 6'3", 175 out of Bradley University. Fourth round pick by the Columbus Crew. Pretty solid game last week. Giving up 3 goals, but did a solid job to keep the side close for most of the match.
Excellent turn and ball from Tate Schmidt there.
Cashier, he'll hit it from distance, trying to find it back post. On the ground, but able to recover is El Paso. Holt.
Great composure from Eric Holt there. You know, most young center backs will just play that ball immediately back to their goalie, but he had the composure to flick it over his head and win the header to his outside back.
Contreras is sitting a little higher. That might have been a different story and a quick opportunity, but Holt did a good job there.
Yeah, and I would love to see Contreras start getting on the ball a little bit more than what he has here in the last 10 minutes. And that first 15 minutes of the game, he was doing a great job. He was buzzing around, finding holes, finding good passing lanes. Now, in the last 10 minutes, the Monarchs have gotten a little bit more compact, and it's been hard for him to find that ball in there.
Come on, Douglas!
player that El Paso needs to see a little bit more of here in this last little bit is Kiffy, who they just tried to find. He's a guy that's capable of providing service. 2017 USL Best 11. He's a guy that is awesome with that foot providing service and did a good job last week to provide service with them. Really hasn't got into the flow of this game, especially in the last little bit. Like we mentioned, the Monarchs kind of settled into this one.
No, and it's been really hard for him, like you said, the last 10 minutes here to get settled in. The Monarchs have done a great job of controlling the pace of this game. Now, El Paso needs to assert themselves a little bit more, find that ball, and find Kiffy. You know, Kiffy's got a ton of ability, and those are the guys that you want to see on the ball.
Powder, back to Ryden.
Sometimes come and get it here or on the right of Eric.
Martin Vasquez shouting out some instructions.
I love how compact El Paso is right now. You know, we talked about their defense last week, but this week they've been excellent with how compact they've been from front to back, and that's when you get balls like that you know, aren't played into the correct areas.
Salgado defended well by Palma, or by Powder, excuse me. Cashier will win the free kick, the throw-in for the Monarchs. 31st minute of play, still scoreless here at Zions Bank Stadium here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in mid-March. It's always fun to get the season rolling.
Man, it is an absolute beautiful day for some soccer. We got the snow-capped mountains right here in front of us. The field's green, crisply painted lines. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this for an afternoon of soccer, does it, Landon?
Does not. And both teams still trying to find that first victory of the 2019 season. El Paso lost in their inaugural match 3-1 to OKC Energy, and the Monarchs with a 1-1 tie in Sacramento to start the season. Ball up over top.
Great ball from El Paso there.
Gebhard.
Well, that's going to be trouble for Kalen Ryden.
So that's got to be back pocket. Trouble. That's going to be a straight red shown to Kalen Ryden, and he'll be sent off here in the 32nd minute, and the Monarchs are going to play a long match with 10 men.
That is very unfortunate for Kalen Ryden, but he did run up his back a little bit, and it's going to be hard to disagree with the ref on this one. As you can see here in the replay, just enough on the back of that winger. The winger goes down. Now, doesn't look like Kalen did it on purpose, but that doesn't matter in the referee's eyes.
Denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And Kalen Ryden will hit the locker room here early in this match. And a big decision from center referee and an opportunity for El Paso here early on.
Now, if we go back and we watch that play again, Kalen Ryden has Salgado to his right. Noah Powder has that winger in between him and Kalen. That's when Noah Powder needs to tuck in and cover him, because when that ball gets played over top of Kalen Ryden's head, he has no cover from Noah. Okay? But if Noah's tucked in, then he has that cover. Now Kalen's not having to make that recovery run, causing this red card. So can Powder and that Andrew Brody get tucked into the outside backs and stay tighter to provide cover?
7 men in the wall for the Monarchs, 2 El Paso players. Contreras, Salgado, and Jerome stand over it. Contreras looks like he's going to hit it. Puts it up and over. And a good save there. Not a lot of pace behind that. Couldn't get enough pace to bring it down, but put it on frame, and Ochoa collects.
He put it on frame, which is what you ultimately want. Now, next time he gets in that position, can he get a little bit more power on that free kick? It was excellent accuracy, excellent placement of the ball, but he needs just a little bit more power next time.
Monarchs going to have an uphill battle here for the final little bit of this first half as they try to settle in, trying to get on another player here shortly. And that will sacrifice some of the attack, but the Monarchs down with 10 men here for the final 10 and a half here in the first half. Powder will be fouled by Gebhard.
So this will be an excellent test now for the Monarchs. We talked about how young and new everybody was on this Monarchs roster. Now they're down to 10 guys. They're going to have to band together, and they're going to have to fight here for the next 60 minutes of this game just to get a draw or get a win. You're going to learn a lot about these young players in this next 60 minutes.
Avila to Holt. Avila's dropped in alongside Holt.
Excellent ball from Eric Holt there.
for the moment.
They need to test that El Paso back line a little bit. For as high and compact as they've been, the Monarchs need to play those balls into the corners. Now, that will cause El Paso to start opening up, and then the Monarchs will be able to play through the middle.
Martinez, post up, Chang, inside the box to Cashier! And an opportunity for the Monarchs. That's what you like to see, a nice combination play and a nice job by Cashier to make sure he came from that left side to find space.
That is what you want from your opposite side winger. You want him tucking in and being able to be on the end of those balls. Cashier found himself in an excellent spot. Now, his finish was lacking a little bit. Next time he finds himself there, can he have that composure to finish that shot?
It's going to be an opportunity for El Paso to regroup as they were caught on the back heel for a few, but now up a man.
This is an excellent opportunity for El Paso to regroup, but you have the Monarchs on the ropes a little bit here. They just had a traumatic play. Now, can El Paso capitalize in the next 5 minutes on that when the Monarchs are themselves still trying to regroup? This is where El Paso has to step on the gas a little bit, put that pressure on the Monarchs, and try to get a goal back before the Monarchs can make a defensive substitution.
Komu getting final directions from Martin Vasquez. He's going to enter this match here shortly. 36 minutes of play, still scoreless.
Everyone!
Martinez going to get in behind, almost behind the back line of El Paso. Jerome does a good job to stay with him.
Now, that was excellent work by Jerome. He didn't want to go into a 50-50 battle with Martinez there. He kind of baited Martinez in, did a little 360 on the ball, and he's able to play out of it.
Salgado inside the box. Avila, he turns. A shot on the turf, collected by Ochoa. Salgado already doing more in this game, I feel like, than he did last week. Only 2 shots last week and 1 on goal. So far, he's been pretty active. In that first part, was very active and finding himself active here in the last few.
Yeah, he's finding his feet right now. You know, the first week is always hard on players. So second week now, can you keep progressing? And from what we've seen from Omar Salgado today is that he is progressing. He is being dangerous. He's being opportunistic. Can he keep doing that now for the next 55 minutes?
Yuma, defended by Powder and Schmidt. Will be out for a throw-in. Schmidt is the unfortunate substitution here coming off to make way for Stanley Okomu.
Since Tate Schmidt had tucked inside to the middle, I thought the Monarchs it was a completely different look for them. They were super active in the middle. They were breaking lines. Now, unfortunately, with the red card, he has to come out, and you make a defensive substitution here. So, it was a short day for Schmidt, but I thought it was an excellent showing from him.
He's one of those guys that has a lot of potential. He really played well for Louisville. Very solid player for them. Ball inside the box. Okomu's going to get his first touch, and will play it out for a throw-in, a long throw-in just in front of the corner flag. But I was saying, Schmidt, he's a solid player, a guy that has experience at the college rank, played for the RSL Academy, knows the system, spent time with the first team throughout the preseason, and from what all accounts that we heard, did very well.
And he's one of those guys, like you said, he grew up in the RSL Academy. He did well in college. He was signed as a homegrown player. He could come in and expect things, but he's one of those kids that does not. He, from what I have seen in preseason, works for everything that he gets, and that's what you want from your young guys. You want them to work for every single thing that they get on that field.
Monarchs going to try to go forward. Blake unable to get a full touch on that one. Yuma calling for it. He settles, plays it out wide to Rebellion. Rebellion.
Good patience here from El Paso. They got control of the ball again. Now, you have 10 guys behind the ball for the Monarchs, so they're going to be harder to break down.
Trying to find Gebhard.
Is that the best ball from Jerome? Probably not. When he goes back and watches this, he's going to be a little upset with himself because El Paso finally had control of the ball. I'd like to see them move that ball around a little bit to spread the Monarchs out. Once you spread the Monarchs out, then you can find those penetrating passes.
Something we haven't mentioned tonight was the connection between the Jacksonville Armada. There's quite a few guys here that are playing tonight that have played for Mark Lowry, head coach of El Paso, including Kalen Ryden, who's now in the locker room, and the captain for the Monarchs, Jack Blake, and a handful on the side for El Paso.
And when Jacksonville was in the NASL, they were an extremely successful team. So you got a lot of experienced guys out here that are used to being successful, know how to win games.
Monarchs trying to apply some pressure. Down to 10 men on a red card for Kalen Ryden in the 32nd minute of play. Monarchs trying to push things forward. Holtz settles it. Play it back to Akomu. Out wide to Powder. Monarchs trying to be a little more patient, as you hear that out of the mouth of Martin Vasquez here in the 41st minute of play.
And when you're down the 10 men, you need to be patient. You need to keep that ball for a little bit, because when you're defending with one less man now, which means El Paso is moving the ball a lot more, and you're having to cover a lot more space. So can the Monarchs keep the ball when they get the chance to do that? If you can keep the ball, you're using less energy than what you would be if you were on defense.
Foul on the Monarchs. A lot of the stuff's been going through Holt so far, leading the team with 24 passes.
And as a young center back, a lot of times you will see young center backs get the ball at their feet and they want to get rid of it right away. But Eric Holt has shown some composure for such a young player, and connecting balls every single time he wins it.
83% pass efficiency so far. As Cashier will apply pressure.
Very rarely do you see young players on the team lead the team in passing efficiency.
When you have a center back like that that's able to distribute, and so far a lot of it has been building out of the back for the Monarchs as well. There was a period of time where they were really trying to find their feet early on, and then went through a stretch where it was building up really well out of the back from the two center backs, Ryden and Holt. And that's where you're seeing some of those numbers from.
They did an excellent job getting control of the game there. The red card, though, absolutely halted the momentum that the Monarchs had. Now, it's a totally different game for the Monarchs. Can we see them react appropriately, get compact, fight for every single ball for the rest of this game?
Don't miss the USL Championships Instagram story every Monday evening as Kelsey Steele breaks down the 3 biggest moments from the past week on the hat trick. Be sure to follow @USL Championship on Instagram today. I know she spoke on the last one about Kalen Ryden, asked for a little help finding the perfect wedding hashtag as he's getting married later this year.
Congrats to them. There's been quite a few Monarchs players, of the older Monarchs players, we should say, that have gotten married either last year or this year.
Moberg, who's sitting on the bench, is one of those that this offseason got married. I'm sure his beautiful wife's here as well. Rebellion out wide. Akomu inside the box, headed away by Brody.
Excellent position by Andrew Brody, but you want to see a little bit better header there from him, because you don't want that ball to come straight back up the middle off his head. If next time he can just get a little flick to the outside there.
Cashier, beautiful ball, trying to find Chang to Cashier. Cashier trying to get around his defender. Defended well by Rebellion, but it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Chang played that ball, 31 assists in his career, second all-time in the USL. The record being 32. One more of those and he'll tie it up.
You know who holds that record, Landon?
I do, give me 2 seconds.
Where's our stat guy at?
It is held by put me on the spot. Jorge Herrera.
So, is there a possibility that we could see a record broken here at Zions Bank Stadium this year?
Oh, no doubt. He's a guy capable of providing service. Cuban-born player. Michael Chang, one of the best in the USL at providing service. El Paso trying to go forward. Good-looking ball there, trying to find Gebhard. He gets in behind Powder. Ochoa's there, and he'll put it up and over the bar. Gebhard's one of those that has the capability to score goals. Scored the first ever goal for El Paso in the 15th minute last week.
Excellent run from Gebhard there. He's the one that put Kalen Ryan in trouble just a little bit ago because Noah Powder was not in the right position. But this time, Noah Powder was in the correct position. He was on the inside of him, and he was able to push him to the outside. When Gebhard goes back and watches that video, he's going to be frustrated with his finish there because you need to get that on goal.
45th minute of play. We'll get stoppage time announced here shortly, and I imagine there has to be 3 to 5 minutes due to injury and a red card.
3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes of stoppage time will be announced. Don't make me a betting man. Cashier will play it out with his head as on running Rebellion. Let's try to find that one.
El Paso is finding a lot of fun right down their right side right now. Can the Monarchs regroup and strengthen up their left side to prevent El Paso from getting down that side more?
Ooh. Shot there to Kiffy. Falls to Rebellion. He'll take on Cashier. To Contreras. Contreras has some nifty footwork. Getting it around Blake. He plays it in. It'll be a corner kick for El Paso.
All right, the Monarchs have to be focused here. A couple minutes left. Set play. One-on-one battles all over the box here. The Monarchs have to be focused on each battle in that box. On the flip side, El Paso has a great chance here to go into the second half with possibly a goal here.
Yuma. With Contreras standing next to him. He'll play it in.
Oh, some work on the goalie there.
As Ochoa's on the ground. Rebellion standing over him.
There's always shenanigans in that box. And you've seen an excellent job from this ref the whole game. Can he keep that under control in there? As you watch Avila in there, he's getting a little handsy with the El Paso player. You got to be careful.
Keep an eye on that just inside the box. Yuma plays it to the top of the box. Opportunity there from Ryan. Deflected away, and it'll be a throw-in for El Paso, but a good idea and definitely something from the training ground. Monarchs really been on their back foot here since the red card in the 32nd minute. As Brody does a nice job to win that one, taken down by Kiffy.
Going into the second half here, I'd love to see the Monarchs completely slow this play down, get to the second half. No need to take a quick free kick. Can David Ochoa slow the game down as much as he can right now?
Avila looking for Chang. Possessed by El Paso. Salgado does a nice job there. Salgado with 3 shots so far. He's going to try to find his 4th. A little too far, but will do a good job to win a corner there for El Paso as he's able to touch that off Akumu here late in the first half. Can't be much time left here as Kiffy's going to try to serve one in the box. And it'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs. I wouldn't be surprised if the whistle for halftime is blown here shortly.
The referee is never going to blow the halftime whistle on a corner kick. I would have liked to see El Paso there, slow things down, get everybody out in the box, and play a good ball in there. Instead of playing that quick one, trying to catch the Monarchs not ready, but it backfired on them just a little bit.
45 minutes of soccer have been played here at Zions Bank Stadium. Still scoreless, but a lot of action. Red cards, the post, and multiple opportunities from both sides. David, first half thoughts?
The Monarchs, they started a little slow, but they found themselves, they found control of that ball, and they were controlling the game during the middle part of the half. Then the red card happens. Now, red cards completely change a game. So can the Monarchs regroup be compact, be extremely hard to break down. And when you have 10 guys, there's one thing that you can't count for is heart. Well, the Monarchs have heart here in the next 45 minutes because that's what it's going to take to overcome playing against 11 players and playing down a man.
A few Monarchs players having conversations with the reffing staff out there. We're going to toss it to a quick break, and we'll be back with an interview done by Samantha Yaruk with Coach Martin Vasquez. But we're going to take a quick break here at the halftime.
I've been fortunate enough to see firsthand how much joy you get from helping develop young talent here at this club. At the academy level, you're everywhere, every game. So when you were making this decision to move on from overseeing the academy to now being the head coach of the Monarchs, what ensured you or gave you confidence that you weren't going to let go of that piece of helping to develop the young talent here?
I think, you know, it was difficult, yes, because for the last 8 years, you know, we've been developing players, and a lot of players have been successful there on the team, and, you know, they've also moved on to other teams. So I think that was the main reason, you know, for me to take that opportunity. I have the opportunity with the same organization within the club to continue together with the plans, with the goals, with the expectations that we have as a club. You know, it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to that.
And you're probably the only person that in this role would be able to serve as a real link between identifying the talent at the academy level, giving them opportunities at the Monarchs, and then hopefully making it to the first team someday. You know, throughout the years, we have seen
players, younger players that are ready for a big challenge or bigger challenges. That is, you know, to put them in the professional environment, in training first, and then in games. You know, I believe some of the guys that we have in the first team, you know, they started their process with the U16s, and, you know, being U16s, we pushed them to the U19s. So that accelerated their process, their development, and we continue to see and identify and select talented players that they need that challenge, you know, to push them to the first team.
Obviously, the goal will be winning. You want to be winning games. But big picture, what do you hope to accomplish with the Monarchs at that level?
To establish a good style of play, or the style of play that we have been recognized for in the academy. I believe that has been a big part of some of our guys being able to play for the national teams and playing for the first team. So that's one of our goals, to implement a good style of play where they can now, you know, move on to the first team. Obviously, winning, it's part of developing young players. It's part of their development. And the players that we push from the academy to the Monarchs, you know, they already know, they already understand, you know, it's about performing and it's about winning. And that's the expectations that, you know, Mike Petke have, but Craig Weibel, that Dan, you know, Rob Sarkos, Mr. Hansen. Monarchs will be a team that, you know, the expectations are to win, to compete, and to develop.
America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Okay, people, it's Ford Truck Month. And you know what that means. The best deals on America's best-selling trucks for 42 years straight. And with over 28 million sold, isn't it time you joined the stampede?
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus 1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Welcome into the beautiful Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman City. Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and goal! Andrew Brody.
Blake takes the shot and he hammered it home.
What does it take to be a champion? Skill, strength, vision, an unrelenting desire to prove your worth week in, week out. An army of fans behind you screaming your name. And sometimes just a bit of luck. For 631 games over the course of the next 9 months, 22 players will step on the field to answer the question, why will it be you and not them? And the 36 teams, from the champions of yesterday to the challengers of tomorrow, only one will be right.
To soccer fans across the United States, we want to say thank you for helping to create the most impressive, well-attended USL opening weekend in our history. With your support, we welcomed record crowds of over 91,000 fans to USL stadiums last weekend, and with over 3 million expected by the end of this season. This is a special moment, and if you're new to the USL, you're joining us at the most exciting time in league history. With more clubs and more games than ever before, the USL Championship is establishing itself as one of the premier second divisions in professional soccer around the world. In 2019 alone, we've welcomed to the USL family 7 new expansion teams in New Mexico, El Paso, Austin, Memphis, Birmingham, Hartford and Loudoun. That's 7 new communities who now have professional soccer in their own backyard, and 7 new communities where local youth can now see a direct path to fulfilling their dreams of becoming professionals themselves. We're also reaching more people than ever before, courtesy of our partnership with ESPN+. Every single USL Championship game available online, and another 8 now shown on national television. More fans than ever before now can watch USL soccer from the comfort of their own home. So thank you, soccer fans. Thank you for joining us for what will be the biggest season in USL history.
sit in as a group of 10, as a tight block, be compact, and when you win that ball, you have to attack quickly. A lot of times when teams are playing against 10 men, they'll kind of fall asleep, because they have a lot of possession of the ball. So when the Monarchs win the ball, can they counter quickly and try to catch El Paso off guard?
And one of the places they've had success today is getting it out wide to those wings, Michael Chang. And here it was Schmidt for a period of time, but now kind of Master Cashier out there running the wings. And he's a player that likes to cut in, very capable of hitting it from deep. He scored one of the top goals in the USL 2 years ago against the Monarchs when he was playing for Colorado Springs, but a guy that's capable of scoring goals against the run of play and from distance. So if you're Mark Lowry on the opposite side, what decisions, what changes do you make? You still have your substitutions, still have all three. Who do you adjust so that you can find that goal and go ahead and really then be able to just control the ball?
Well, right now, if I'm Mark Lowry, I'm telling my team, they're going to sit back in a tight block of 10. So we have to move that ball quickly and try to pull those players out of their spots. And then once you pull those players out, that's when you can find those penetrating passes. But you cannot find those penetrating passes if you don't move that ball quickly. If you are slow moving that ball, that means all 10 players can get across the field for the Monarchs. So the first thing El Paso has to do is move that ball quickly and try and split the lines and find those penetrating passes for Salgado.
Salgado's done well so far. Like I mentioned, only 2 shots last week, 1 being on goal so far today. 4 shots for him, and he's been pretty effective. He's been that dangerous player up top, and we talked about his strength and size. He did a good job early in the match to hold off the defenders and Ryden and Holt. Now it's Akomu and Holt, and let's see if he's able to find his space in between those 2 guys.
For me, he's been the best player on the field today. He's been causing the back line of the Monarchs all kinds of trouble with his runs into the corners. On throw-ins, he posts up, and he's hard to get around. So the Monarchs have to keep an eye on him at all times. He's not the most blazing fast player, but you still have to know where he is because he can cause you problems all over that attacking third.
Looks like there will be no changes for the Monarchs. Only 1 substitution left for the Monarchs.
As we get later in this game and it's still 0-0, I would love to see El Paso maybe pull one of the defenders off, go to 3 at the back, and throw on another attacking player. Because the Monarchs have 10 players, El Paso would be able to do that. Now, I don't know what the ins and outs of their tactics specifically are, but when you're facing 10 guys, that is one thing you can do as the game goes on today.
And some players on the bench very capable of coming in. El Paso playing their first road match. Good crew on hand as we look at some social media. I'm seeing a picture from the supporters group, the 8th notch there at the bar, checking out the game. Good crowd.
You also have to be careful because you are on the road. You didn't pick up any points last week. You're a brand new franchise. All right, maybe you keep 4 at the back, you keep it as is, and you get out of here with a point today. Now, granted, when you're playing against 10 guys, you'd want to get 3, but you're brand new. Let's get your first point as an organization.
That's, at this point, though, if you're Mark Lowry, are you looking just for 1? You want all 3. It's an opportunity like nothing else. There wasn't a lot going except for those first 10 minutes until the red card for El Paso. Now you have 45 minutes to see if you can turn the game on its head.
Every time you step on the field, you're always looking for 3 points. But you got to remember, this is a long season. We're only in the 2nd week. Every single point matters. So maybe you get out of here with 1 instead of taking that chance and coming out with 0.
We're going to look at halftime stats. Total shots for the Monarchs, 3. Total shots for El Paso, 6. As most of those came after the red card. This ball will be played up top by Akomu into the box. It'll be picked up by Ketterer. Still scoreless here as we start the 2nd half.
You can already tell where the Monarchs' line of confrontation is. When we had 11 guys out there, it was about 20 to 22 yards out from the goal. Now you're seeing that line of confrontation right around the half-field mark.
Fox.
So we talked that they have to be compact so that they don't get broken down. And right here, as you can tell, that is a tough ball over the top and doesn't find somebody's feet.
Ochoa is going to lets Salgado run towards him to try to break up some more space for the Monarchs. Holt looking forward to Chang. Chang does a good job, and Fox had his collar the whole time. It'll be a foul on El Paso.
And that's a foul. You know, he's just letting Chang know that he's there. That's still going to be a long 45 minutes for him.
Avila back to Ochoa. Ochoa, USL Team of the Week this last week on the bench. Martinez trying to challenge Nintoko. Good win there by Powder. Can the Monarchs go forward?
This is what I was talking about. When they win that ball, they have to attack fast. And as you can see, Cachere's already picked up, 10, 15 yards of space right away. And you got to put El Paso on their back foot.
A lot of coaches in their first year would maybe struggle to make a decision what they need to do. Martin Vasquez is a guy with a lot of experience. We haven't even touched on this, but he's a guy that's in his he's the fourth head coach in Monarchs history, but he's been assistant coaches with the Galaxy, head coach with Chivas USA, assistant coach with Bayern Munich, and with the U.S. men's national team. So a guy with a lot of experience, a lot of pedigree, and he's definitely dealt with situations like this.
I mean, if you're looking strictly at pedigrees, it really doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No. I mean, and a lot of people will point to maybe not a super successful time at Chivas, but you can also point and say that Chivas organization was pretty dysfunctional.
Yeah, but you don't gain experience from being successful. You gain experience from, trying times like that. You learn what you did wrong. You learn what worked. So he probably, even though it wasn't a successful experience, he gained a lot of coaching experience from that. They say that you learn from your failures, not your successes.
Ochoa's going to play it forward. Looking for Cacher. Nice win there by El Paso. Martinez. Balls just haven't been quite crisp to Martinez. Martinez been putting in a lot of the work rate, but hasn't had a lot of opportunities to reap some fruit.
It's hard when you go down to 10 guys and you have that striker, that number 9 that sits up there, because now he's really on an island all by himself. So as the 9, he has to put in a ton of work, and guess what? He may never see any balls played into him. He may not see any chances today, but even if that happens, there's still a ton of things that he can do for this Monarchs team.
Holt plays it forward, and Ketter opts to knock it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Chang. Quickly into Brody, or excuse me, Blake. Gotta love the work right there by Brody, the Energizer Bunny. Okomu. He'll look to play it back to the keeper. Ochoa looking for Cacher. Good little settle there by Yuma. Back out wide. Gebhard. To Yuma. Yuma's going to play it inside the box. Looking. Brody gets a touch. There's calls for a handball. Nothing there. Blake looking for Chang. Jerome there. Heads it. Just in front of him, and Chang couldn't get back going forward as he was backtracking.
Yeah, and we just talked about Martinez being up on an island all by himself. That was excellent work from him there. When you don't see the ball a lot, you sometimes turn off, but he was tuned in, ready to go. He received that ball, he played it off to Blake, and he went, which is exactly what you want from your number 9.
Kiffy. Pass is cut off by Holt. Did a good job to step up and fill that gap. Jerome trying to find Contreras. Contreras wide to Kiffy. Kiffy has a lot of space in front of him. Kiffy picks up his head, takes a crack, still inside the 18. Contreras.
Contreras making things happen right now. We talked about him in the first half, not seeing a lot of the ball. Already in this second half, he's been connecting side to side and front to back for El Paso, and you're starting to see they're getting more and more chances every time he's able to get on the ball.
Contreras is up. It'll be a drop ball for Ochoa. 51st minute of play. Still scoreless. Monarchs trying to find their first win of 2019. Especially here at home where they have been very consistent. They were dominant here at home in the 2018 season. Kiffy, Salgado was off. Contreras is going to chase it down. Contreras.
I don't know if the referee got that one correct, Landon.
I don't either, but it was out by the time he got to it. So that will become a moot point. But I was thinking the same thing as he left. If Salgado left it, Contreras should have been on in that situation. And the Monarchs should not have slowed up, but it plays in their favor. Looking for the latest USL Championship news and content, follow @USL Championship on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. That's @USL Championship.
One thing that we didn't really talk about in the pregame today was, as the second half wears on, how will that sun affect the eyes of the El Paso goalie? You know, when balls are played in the air, the sun is so brutal here that it can really wreak havoc on you. How is he going to adjust to that? Is he going to misjudge balls? Is he going to misplay them?
Holt did a good job.
Could that be
into Cashier? And a good header back by Jerome to the keeper. But I agree, that's something that will play a factor here as the sun continues to move into the western sky. Like we mentioned early on, so beautiful here. As a foul will be called on Noah Powder. Noah Powder, solid player here in the USL. He's been one of those guys that a lot of people are high on around in this organization. Still very young, but like you mentioned, made a lot of appearances and has been very effective throughout his career.
I mean, as much as you can say, hey, practice makes perfect, the only thing that makes you better as a player is playing actual games. And he's played a lot of those already for 20-year-olds. Now, can El Paso make the most of this free kick?
Free kick coming. Cleared away by the captain, Blake. Cleared completely away by Cashier. Still in the Monarchs half, though. Out wide, Akomu. That's when it benefits you to have long, lanky legs, able to stick that out and clear that one out of play.
You know, it's an unfortunate situation that put Stanley into this game, but I'm excited to see him have a full season under his belt and get started with that today.
Former player for Ann Arbor. Did a good job here for the Monarchs. Played in a few games to finish the 2018 season. Done a good job so far here in this one after entering the match in kind of an awkward situation, like you mentioned, coming in to replace Schmidt, who was substituted because of the red card, making adjustments so you had a full back line. Holt. Not the best ball there by Ochoa. Monarchs do a good job to get under it, but lose possession. One of the things that I think El Paso's gone away from here in this last few is possessing the ball. You're going to wear a team out really quickly as the flag comes up on the far side, but you're going to wear a team out really quickly if you're able to continually knock the ball around and have the other team chase. They've gone away from that in the last few.
Yeah, you can. We're starting to see a lot more switched balls and a lot more balls over the top, which, you know, it kind of baffles me a little bit because they had so much success in the first half, even against 11 players, by keeping possession. And now they're only playing against 10 players in the second half, but keeping possession, you know, there's got to be a purpose to it. What is their purpose to the possession that they have? Is it just to keep the ball, or is it to keep the ball to try to spread the Monarchs out and make those penetrating passes?
Going back to an earlier play, the Monarchs are a little unlucky not to have found the back of the net on that free kick by Michael Chang in the first half. Drilled the woodwork square on. And that really could have been a game changer. Monarchs, even if they had that and still got the red card, it would have been super helpful. Opportunity here. Contreras inside the box. Rolls it across. Ochoa was calling for it. Still inside the box. collected by Ochoa, and he's having a conversation with Holt saying, "You gotta leave it for me."
As a young center back, you gotta trust your goalie, and in that situation, I'd love to see Eric Holt use that big frame and kind of make a force field around Ochoa and hold off the El Paso player so that Ochoa can easily scoop that ball. Instead, Holt takes the ball from Ochoa, and they get into that situation right there.
Fox.
As you can see right now, look how slow El Paso is moving the ball. The center back to outside back. They got to move it a little bit quicker.
Gebhard. He's crashing inside the box. Picks up his head, finds Contreras. Chang's there. And the Monarchs defend it nicely. Martinez all by himself does a good job to hold that one up. No one with him, though.
Excellent work from Martinez there.
Plays it off Kiffy to win the throw-in and alleviate the pressure.
Exactly. He alleviated that pressure. It was 1v3. He was able to keep control of that ball and get a throw-in for the Monarchs. That's what you want from your 9 when you're playing with 10 guys.
Push quicker! Come on!
As you just heard from Antoko there, he's imploring his teammates, hey, play quicker. We got to move the ball quicker. As the center back, you see what's happening on the whole field, and he sees that right now. He is trying to get his own teammates to play the ball quicker.
Martinez is going to get a little talking to.
Not too much, Douglas.
Toko. He'll pick up his head wearing the captain's armband. Plays it out wide to Kiffy.
Hey, linesman! You can call something.
Chang is down as it took a deflection off Kiffy. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Looks like he might have caught him. We'll see a quick look.
It was a good 50-50 challenge. I didn't see anything, see anything really bad there. Chang, he's just catching his breath. He's a little respite for the Monarchs right now.
See a substitution, the first of the match for El Paso. Nick Ross is going to enter the match and come on for Yuma, who did a pretty good job in 59 minutes of play.
Yeah, he did a great job finding those little pockets of space and trying to break lines and advance that ball. Now, can Ross do the exact same thing, or is he going to be a little bit more dynamic than what Yuma was?
And Ross was a guy who started last week against OKC Energy. This time making a substitution appearance. Monarchs going to try to switch the field here. Back through Ochoa. Chang's going to rush in. Kiffy there to settle.
And I really don't want to see Okumo playing a lot of balls like that, especially when he has time on it. That's an opportunity where the Monarchs can keep the ball a little bit and kind of gain possession and settle things down for themselves.
Good pressure there by the Monarchs, trying to win it. Here's the counter coming from El Paso. Out wide. Ross going to get some touches on the ball. Okomu's going to get there first. And he'll play it forward and dump it up over the half. Cashier stabbing in there on Ryan. Monarchs have one substitution remaining. El Paso with 2, having just used their first in the 58th minute.
Once again, there's Salgado finding himself in a dangerous position and able to keep the ball in the attacking third for El Paso.
Ball inside the box, shot here, and a save by Ochoa as he's going to fall to his right. Didn't have to do too much, but made sure he collected that one.
No, shot was on goal. Was it the best shot on goal? Not necessarily, but El Paso, they're starting to find more and more of those chances against the Monarchs. They're starting to find those cracks in the defense right now.
Good little move there by Jerome. Haitian international. Ball up over top to Martinez. He's just wide of the area. Tries to play it in the box. Cashier is the only one there. It'll be cleared by El Paso. Holt gonna play it back all the way to Ochoa. Ochoa, nice fancy footwork there.
I like to see a little bit of flair from the young goalie. You just don't want to see you don't want to see too much of that in that situation.
No scorpions, please. You can use, scorpions are scary. I don't know what other animals you could do. Brody dribbling nicely along. Looks like the call was ball. He was taken down.
It was a great run by Brody, but on the flip side, it was a great tackle from El Paso there.
By Ryan. Ryan was able to dispossess Brody as he was able to dribble through. Slithering, moving around. We're gonna have to call him the little lizard or something. Komu looking forward, trying to find Chang. Chang's gonna try to keep it in. Good job there by Chang to keep it in. Defended by Fox, picks up his head, finds Blake. Blake clips it in. Unable to beat Toko. Monarchs still attacking.
You know, I talked about at the end of the first half, one of the things that Monarchs are going to need if they want to get points in this game is they're going to need heart here for the last 45 minutes. And right now, you're seeing Chang getting on the end of the balls in the corner, playing balls into the box, or Blake finding the ball and playing balls into the box. But right now, the only person we have in the box is Martinez. I know it's hard work, and it's extremely difficult, but the Monarchs players, they have to get forward and get themselves into the box, and then when that ball turns over, they immediately have to get themselves back. And that's where that heart category comes into this for them.
Chang finds Cashier. Out wide to Martinez. Monarchs have to get a few more numbers in the box if they're going to play it in from these wide angles. Brody. Defended by Kiffy. Simple touch there to Cashier. For Avila. Good switch of the field. Monarchs inside the box. Almost finding Martinez. Looks like that ball is going to stay in. Good job by Ketterer to keep it in.
Great ball from Powder there. You play that ball between the back line and the goalie, and it causes all kinds of problems, and Martinez almost gets on the end of it. You know, that's when I talked about heart. He gave everything he had there trying to get on the end of that ball.
A good opportunity for the Monarchs. Even down a man. It's like that counter you're talking about. Let El Paso build, and then once you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Look at this
Here's
right
another
here. Look how fast Blake is attacking.
Blake puts it wide to Chang. Chang just wasn't on his horse to go forward. Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLsoccer.com. It's the USL Power Rankings. Ross out wide to Gebhardt.
El Paso, they're getting a little sloppy right now with their passes. They just gave that previous one away to Blake in a bad spot, played that ball out of bounds. You're up a man. You should be able to keep the ball literally for 45 minutes here if you wanted to. Clean up the passing a little bit, move the ball a little bit quicker, and break the Monarchs down. Just be a little bit sharper on the ball.
And they were a strong offensive team, had an opportunity to watch their game multiple times. El Paso is dangerous. And Salgado, Contreras, Kiffy, there's guys that are able to change games and make things difficult. Salgado's going to get his touch on this one. Contreras chips it back post. Like I was mentioning, they're a strong offensive team. Really, I think it may take some time to figure things out, but they've got the capability. As there's a foul called as Avila goes down.
Yeah, they definitely have the ability to make things happen, but you just can't rely on spontaneous things to happen offensively. You still need to have some kind of rhythm, and they need to find that rhythm again. They had it in the first 15 minutes of the game. Can they find it again now to finish out the game?
Possession 60-40 for El Paso so far. Like I mentioned, 68% possession at the end of the game against OKC. They're a team that Mark Lowry, like we mentioned, wants to build out of the back and maintain possession. Also a team that we haven't mentioned is very full of international flair. They have players from Belgium, Haiti, Iceland, Scotland, Argentina, Mexico, England, Spain, and Colombia.
Hey, when you're a new organization, you're a new team, you have to look everywhere to find that talent. You're building out a whole roster from nothing. So I love seeing, all those different nationalities on the team.
Ochoa. U.S. Youth International, David Ochoa. Second youngest to ever make a debut in the goalkeeper position here in the USL. Powder, not a great decision there. Bad giveaway for the Monarchs. Contreras inside the box. Can he find space? Contreras, shot! And Ochoa collects.
Akumu finds himself on the wrong side of Salgado there. You have to stay goal side at all times when you're inside the box. You can't get overzealous and try to win every single ball that's played into his feet. You have to stay goal side.
Something you don't love to see, and I think it was a mistake to play that back heel, was Powder trying to get away with the back heel. Not something you need to be doing in your defensive third. Cashier. Back to Brody. Brody sees space. Chang inside the box. Can the Monarchs find a shot here? To Avila. Avila takes a crack! Pushed up and over the bar.
And when you play compactly the way El Paso does as a defense, the ball's at the top of the 18 in that little zone, that's where the Monarchs are going to find success. That ball popped out to Avila there, had time and space to get a shot off, and gets a great shot on target there.
Corner kick coming for the Monarchs.
Now, Ketterer hasn't had much to do today, but he was up to the challenge there.
Blake whips it in, and Ketterer collects. Ketterer rolls it out to Fox. Interestingly enough, that was the first corner kick of the match for the Monarchs. Took 69 minutes. Toko. Out wide to Rebellion. Monarchs with opportunities. The corner kick wasn't the best placement, a little too far in, and an easy collect for Ketterer, but you like to see that the Monarchs are trying to find opportunities with a man down.
It's tough to get into that offensive third when you're playing down a man. So I'm not surprised to see that that's their first corner of the game, really. But when you don't get many of those, and you don't get many chances in this tactical situation, you have to make the most of it. I would like to see that corner, get that away from the goalie a little bit next time.
Joshua Castellanos is going to come on for Kiffy. Kiffy was a guy that I was looking for to do a little bit more tonight. Really never felt like he found himself completely in the game.
No, he's got all the ability in the world, but it was just one of those games where he wasn't able to find the ball or find himself in dangerous situations, and sometimes that happens to attacking players. The game, for whatever reason, doesn't go your way, but you still mentally have to stay tuned in, and you know what? They bring on another player, and that's the end of his day.
Komu does a good job to play it back to Ochoa. Scoreless here in the 70th minute of play in this USL Championship regular season match. First 2019 home opener here for the Real Monarchs. Martinez is working hard, just really not getting a whole lot of opportunities, a lot of bodying, physical matchups up top to hold up the ball.
That's what it's going to take, though, when you're down to 10 men in this situation. You're 9. He has to work his rear end off because you need him to cause the back four of El Paso. You need him to cause them trouble. And then on the flip side, he has to get in on those balls that are cleared or balls that are played into the corner. As you see here, he's got to go from the left to the right, right away. He's got to pressure the ball and make it hard on El Paso.
Something I'd like to see here a little bit more in the second half is more touches by Jack Blake in the attacking third. He's done a good job so far getting the ball. He has 22 passes in the opposition's half, but really hasn't here in the last few done a whole ton. Obviously, it's been a lot more countering, but you'd like to see the ball go through a guy like Jack Blake.
You always want to see the ball go through a guy that's as talented as Jack. But when you're down a number in the midfield now, you know, you're going to be sitting back a lot more than you would be going forward. So I want to see him just keep the ball and connect the front to the back for the Monarchs.
Set piece here for Contreras. Ball, a line held on top of the 18, ball played in. Holt there to play it away. Salgado, everybody was raising their hands. He's gonna get a shot off, takes a deflection. Still.
Great feed by the big man there.
Rebellion gonna come from an offside position to an onside position, and the flag will be raised on the far side.
Oh, no.
Bad giveaway. Castellanos inside the box. And he took way too many touches there and will give up a good opportunity for El Paso, and it'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs.
You know, unfortunate play there by Eric Holt, but El Paso, they gotta make more. They gotta make more of that. They just do. When you're up a man, you're not gonna get that many opportunities inside the opponent's 6. So when you are inside the opponent's 6, make the most of it. At least get a shot on goal.
Martinez rises, wins the header. Monarchs unable to win the second ball, though. Ooh, rough challenge there. That's going to be a card. You could see that as he lunged and extended as the ball was being played forward. Martinez will see yellow here in the 73rd minute of play.
Honestly, I don't really mind that yellow card. Martinez has been working so hard up there that, you know, those legs, they're going to get tired after a while, and sometimes you're going to have tackles like that, especially from forwards. And you know, he stops the play, allows his team. Look at this. Look at Eric Holt. He's getting the team set, but he wouldn't be able to do that if Martinez did not commit that foul.
Fox is going to switch the field. Be headed away by Powder. Powder's done a good job. 4 tackles, 2 clearances, and 3 interceptions so far. You almost feel like something's building here a little bit for El Paso. They're starting to realize they're up a man. See if the Monarchs can change the flow.
They're definitely seeing a lot more of the ball. They're getting more chances now. The Monarchs were great in the first, 15, 20 minutes of the second half, but those cracks are starting to show. Now guys are getting tired. They're losing their focus a little bit. Can El Paso capitalize on that?
Jerome trying to play it up over top, and that's not a ball that's really worked. Surprised they've continually tried to go there. Holt and Okomu have done a good job of winning stuff in the air.
The lofted balls up the middle are not going to work for El Paso, just on the simple size of Stanley Okumu. If you're going to play a lofted ball, play it to the corner. Allow your speedy wingers to get on the end of those balls. Throughout this game, we've seen them try to play those balls over the top in the middle, and they have not worked. The balls that have worked are the ones that are played over the top into the corner.
Good ball by Avila there. Monarchs dispossessed. You can see some frustration on the faces of the Monarchs so far. They do not want to be sitting in. They want to be able to attack. But just with the man down, it really makes it difficult.
Not every game's going to be pretty. And some games you have to grind out. They're going to be ugly. You need to learn how to get points out of games like this if you want to be in the playoffs at the end of the year. Because I can guarantee you this won't be the last time the Monarchs find themselves in a situation like this. And they have to learn how to be successful when they do.
Espacio, espacio. Space, space.
Brody, he'll try to go forward. Brody has an engine. Tackled well by Castellanos. It's tough when you're going at a guy that just came on as a substitute. But Brody will never shy away from a challenge. Salgado, really up by himself, holds up the ball net nicely for El Paso.
I'd love to see Jerome or Antoko carry the ball forward and force Chang or Cashier to make a decision if they want to step to them or if they want to stay in that space. Jerome and Toko, they have to make those guys make a decision because that's going to open up the space for El Paso. And until that happens, the Monarchs are going to be able to just sit back.
Paso trying to find those little holes in the back line of the Monarchs. They're going to push it out wide. Opportunity here. Ball inside the box. Squirts across. And put wide by Castellanos.
We just talked about this in the last time that they were up there. You have to make the most of these opportunities. You can't keep giving these chances away. At some point, El Paso they have to put one in the back of the net and put the Monarchs on their heels and force them to come out of that back, that back unit that they're sitting in right now.
Opportunities abound. 6 saves made so far by Ochoa. Last one was not a save, but a shot wide of goal. Brody pushing it forward, trying to find Chang. Want more soccer? Follow along on USL League One continues to shape the game in the United States. Stay up to date on League One action at USLLeague1.com or watch live on ESPN+. All wide to Contreras. Nice overlapping run there by Gebhard. Avila there to defend him. Just near the corner flag. It will be played out by the Monarchs and Powder for a throw-in. All the way back to Jerome. Monarchs doing a nice job of keeping compact, staying together, not wasting too much energy, pushing one guy up. Martinez is kind of finally sitting in with that group.
That's right. Make it hard to break them down in the middle. Force them wide and force them into bad crosses to a guy like Stanley Okumu.
Contreras gets a shot from distance.
As the Monarchs progress here, I'd love to see Brody and Powder tuck in a little bit more and not get drug out to the sideline. As soon as they get dragged out, that opens up those spaces for Contreras to run into. As you saw there, Contreras found himself in that space between Okumu and Powder. Can Powder stay tucked in and eliminate that space?
Komu, good win there for the Monarchs. As Contreras was trying to run on that one. You have to help but wonder, when does Martin Vasquez use his final substitution? Looks like we got a player on the bench getting a jersey on. Or excuse me, switching jerseys. Nope, not quite yet.
Martin will definitely use his third sub at some point, but you have to wait a little bit longer because you've already used 2 subs already. If you get into the last 5 minutes, you get in the stoppage time, and one of your guys goes down, now you're down 2 guys on the field instead of just 1.
It's one of those decisions you have to make to hold a lot longer than you maybe normally would.
And Martin's going to draw on that vast experience and knowledge he has to make that decision.
Castellanos, ball in, cleared away by Okumu. Brody fell down on that one. Giveaway. Monarchs got to go forward. Martinez, shot from distance, and it's floating back, and it'll be tipped away. It'll be a corner kick for the Monarchs.
Very, very ambitious for Martinez. But hey, I love the confidence in the young guy to take that shot. I would have preferred that they attack a little bit more with speed and put El Paso on their heels a little bit. But hey, now El Paso's going to be thinking when Martinez picks the ball up half field, will he shoot?
Yeah.
Will he won't shoot?
Well, and here's the thing. He puts that more on a rope, and I think he has the keeper beat. He floated in, but he still had it on frame, enough that Ketterer decided, I'm not taking any chances. I mean, it was at the midfield stripe as well.
I know, right here, Ketterer's probably like, oh, no, don't go in. And he does a great job to find that ball right there.
It looked
with the sun
slightly
in his
wide,
eyes.
yeah, and slightly wide of frame, but he didn't want to take that chance. Blake here, Monarchs have most of the numbers forward. Ball swung inside the box, headed by Jerome. And out for a Monarchs throw-in. Monarchs will reset. Final 10 minutes here at Zions Bank Stadium. Both teams trying to find the game winner. Monarchs down to 10 men after a red card to Kalen Ryden in the 32nd minute of play. It's made for a long afternoon for some of these Monarchs players who've been working relentlessly.
You know, it's been a long afternoon for those guys, but we're learning a lot about a lot of these guys on the field right now, what they're made of, and how hard they want to fight, and how hard they want to battle for games this year.
Looks like we're going to see that substitution here, an attacking player. Herman. That'll be a foul on Martinez. His frustration showing a little bit.
You know, I talked about Martinez having to be the one that pressures that back four and then has to make those runs into the corner here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Herman come in for him right now, just to get some fresh legs up there to provide that pressure on the back four and fresh legs to get in behind that back four.
Ball's out wide. Monarchs fans getting a little antsy. Want to see if they can find and will this team forward. 82nd minute of play. Ball inside. Rebellion finds Contreras. The Monarchs defensive line is there. Powder, giveaway. Didn't have many places to go with that one. Another throw in for El Paso.
Now, as the ball goes back in, the Monarchs get their lines up here. Get their lines up, make the El Paso forwards get with them, and make them more tired.
Soko out wide. Gebhardt making the overlap. Contreras looking to the back post. Settled. Shot! And pushed wide! Ochoa kept that one from being in the back of the net. And El Paso almost took the lead here in the 83rd minute of play.
You're starting to see some tired legs out there, but Ochoa still has a little bit left in him right now.
Jeez. Just a touch, just the fingertips to keep that one wide. Kept in by Ross. Excuse me, Ryan.
Can Ochoa bring this down and kill the clock a little bit? There's less than 10 minutes. The Monarchs have to kill as much time as they can. There's a lot of tired legs out there.
Substitution almost can't come soon enough. Fox wins the header. It'll be a throw-in and a Monarch substitution. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit www.steward.org. That's Steward Healthcare. It's another Academy product. Gonna come on for the Monarchs. Damian Herman is gonna make his professional debut here for the Monarchs.
And like I said, he's coming on for Martinez now. So with those fresh legs, can he cause the tired legs of El Paso, their back line? Can he cause them some trouble right now, both offensively and defensively? He just has to be a pest out there for the next 10 minutes.
And we've seen some bad giveaways. We'll see if he can find one of those bad giveaways and try to get the game winner.
You know, find one of those bad giveaways. You know, find that opportunity just to slide in between the center back and outside back and make a good run in behind him.
Grand Canyon University. San Diego State University. Like we mentioned, RSL Academy as well. Ball out wide. Tired legs for El Paso as well, but they're putting some numbers forward. Ball takes a deflection. A bad touch there by Salgado. Herman's going to get his first touch.
See, those are fresh legs right there. That is the trouble that he's going to cause here for the last 10 minutes.
He just needs to keep going.
You know, for these young guys, they got to realize sometimes they may not get 90 minutes. If you only get 10, you have to make the most of that.
Monarchs are applying a little bit of pressure here in the last few. Trying to see if they can change this game. Salgado, nice job to hold that one up. Plays it wide to Contreras. Contreras, he's going to go at Andrew Brody. Goes towards the touchline, swings it back in. Okomu's going to head it away. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. Locomotive FC trying to find their first victory in franchise history.
We talked about in the early part of the game, we talked about the Monarchs keeping their focus in the last little bit of games, not giving up goals. That was with 11 players. Now they're down to 10. Now they're going to have to redouble that focus and work even harder to not give up a late goal here.
Ochoa is going to kill some clock. 87th minute as you're hearing some instructions from Martin Vasquez. You gotta love hearing that from the bench. Martin Vasquez, Hamilton Olave, and Matt Glazer.
You have three extremely experienced guys. You know, we talked about Martin coaching all over the world at all levels. Hamilton and Matt Glazer. The last 2 years, the Monarchs had one of the best teams in the entire USL, and those guys were part of that coaching staff.
Blake's gonna ask for his distance. Whistle. Being told that they're gonna play the whistle. Ball's gonna be dumped up over, looking for Herman. Kept in by Chang. Chang tries to play a nice little nifty ball. Brody, Cashier's inside the box. Cashier back to Powder. Monarch's gonna go forward. The ball's gonna go out for a goal kick.
Now, the Monarchs, they just exerted a lot of energy attacking. Can they get back into their defensive shape and be hard to break down?
Final 3 minutes here at Zions Bank Stadium, plus stoppage time. Last 10 minutes or so, El Paso with 91% of the possession. They're really clamping down. But the opportunities, with the exception of the Ochoa save, there hasn't been many. Monarchs with an opportunity, an optimistic opportunity from half, but other than that.
We talked about possession doesn't always lead to goals. You know, you can have 100% possession and not have any goals. El Paso, they need to create an opportunity. Not just expect it to happen because they have the ball.
Contreras plays it forward. Brody there, and Brody will knock it out. It'll be a corner kick here for El Paso. 5th of the match for them.
David! Jack, get in and get picked up, Jack! Jack, pick up!
Contreras, he'll swing in with his left foot. Looking, Ochoa does a nice job to rise up.
You love seeing that from your goalie, that's 6'4", just coming out and getting that ball. That makes it so much easier on your defenders. As a center back, I used to love when my goalies would come out and snag those crosses out of the air.
Oh, Cashier was making a nice, beautiful run, and Chang just could not find him.
Very professional foul from Avila there. I love seeing that. Slow the play down here.
Avila with the foul. Did a good job, but there was a good opportunity. If the Monarchs could have found that pass, Cashier would have been in. Contreras looking forward, takes a deflection. Herman's got to come to the ball as he tracks away from it. And Ochoa will take a touch with his chest here in the 90th minute of play. Still scoreless.
You know, despite him being so young, the experience and the professionalism that Ochoa has showed today has been top-notch.
He'll play it in long and high. Chang's gonna try to win it. Chang gets his head on it. Not sure where it goes, though. Salgado. He's gonna go at Holtz. Monarchs trying to get players back to defend with him. Contreras, or Castellano, excuse me, tried to turn it back across the 6. Stoppage time will be announced momentarily. 2 minutes of stoppage time. We're gonna play till the 92nd minute here at Zions Bank Stadium. Both teams still trying to find that equalizer. Monarchs look a little tired here early on in this season. As it gets later, you would expect teams don't worry as much about that, but here early on in the season, fitness becomes a question.
It definitely does. It's the early part of the year. Everybody's still getting those 90-minute legs underneath them. But Monarchs are put to the test here early in the season, like you said. And can they rise up and meet that test? A lot can still happen here in the last minute and a half. It doesn't sound like much time, but there's plenty of time for something to happen.
Last time the Monarchs were on this pitch, a late goal was scored in stoppage time by Reno to take the playoff victory.
And that was one of those instances where it was literally the last play of the game.
Monarchs trying to keep an even line. Challenge was a little bit from an awkward angle. It'll be a free kick for El Paso, and a good opportunity as Blake's going to concede the free kick, and El Paso's going to send almost everybody forward. Monarchs are going to set up their line on the top.
I love seeing the young center back, Eric Holt, pushing his teammates on. He knows that this is such a critical moment in the game, and he, even though he's a young player, is stepping up as a leader out there and trying to push his team on. I love seeing that from the young player.
Contreras trying to direct his players. Free kick here in the 91st and change. Quickly taken, short, clipped in, looking back post. Players all over the place and pushed wide. From this angle, it looked like it was in the back of the net for a second, but pushed wide by Ochoa. Looked like there was a few guys floating free.
That's where you have to keep your focus and know where your man is at all times.
Corner kick, headed away by Chang, not completely. It'll be kept in. Flag will be up, though.
Great opportunity for the Monarchs here to kill the game, and game is over.
90 minutes of soccer plus stoppage played here at Zions Bank Stadium, and the whistle will be blown, and that is all she wrote here. Both teams going to walk away with 1 point. Monarchs move to 2 points on the season. El Paso will win their first points in team history.
You know, congrats to El Paso on getting that first point in team history. But it was an early test in the season for the Monarchs, and they stepped up to meet it. You know, they had the heart, they had everything that they needed to finish this game out with 10 men, and they did a great job. And those are the kinds of performances that when you get later on the year, those are the ones right there that you will see in playoffs.
We're going to toss it. We'll toss it to a final break before we come back with our final thoughts. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
America First Credit. Draw here at Zions Bank Stadium between El Paso Locomotive FC and the Real Monarchs. But in reality, it was a pretty entertaining game just without goals.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining game. Was that the performance that we expected from the Monarchs? No. But guess what? They were challenged early on by going down to 10 men, and they stepped up to meet that challenge, and they played with heart and focus for the rest of that game, and they got out of this game with giving up no goals.
Not many teams can play really 60-ish minutes down a man and play it effectively so early on. The Monarchs did a good job of trying to find their opportunities. Really, the biggest opportunity of the second half was that shot from midfield. But early on, you've got to talk about Michael Chang and what he brought to the game. Drilled the woodwork and really almost found that first goal for the Monarchs.
You know, Chang is our most experienced returning attacking player that we have, and he showed that today. You know, he plays as an inverted winger, so he wants to come inside on that left foot, and that's when he was finding his joy. He was finding chances when he was cutting into his left foot, and then, of course, you know, he had that unbelievable free kick that hit the woodwork, and that free kick, I believe that would have went in, would have changed the entire game for the Monarchs.
If you're Martin Vasquez, though, that 1 point feels nice. It doesn't feel perfect because you want to walk away with all three at home. You're never going to want to give up that, but you'll take the first point, especially since you're going to be back here at home next week for Los Dos here at Zions Bank Stadium at 1 p.m. So make sure you get your tickets, or you can tune in on ESPN+. But we want to thank you for tuning into the broadcast tonight. We appreciate all of you taking the time to watch this game. From our production crew that did a wonderful, phenomenal job today, from our statistician, Connor McKenna, David Horst, Landon Southwick, and we'll sign off and catch you next week.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.